All right, welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Jay. I got another special guest in the building. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself.
Yo, what's up? What's going on, guys? I'm Corli J. I'm a freelance journalist from the south side of Chicago.
What's that? Where exactly in Chicago are you from?
I live in West Pullman now, but I'm from the Auburn Gresham neighborhood.
Okay, shout out to both of those areas.
Yeah.
I actually bought my first investment property in West Pullman.
For real?
Yeah. So and I know it's on the come up too.
Yeah.
So,
Yo, so we just bought a house actually last year. So I've been in my house for a year. So that's dope to see that you bought your property out over there too.
Shout out to you for being a homeowner.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how, a lot of people don't understand how liberating that is. You don't have to pay rent.
Right. And it's like you put your money towards something that's going to be yours. That is yours, but it's just like it's an investment.
Facts.
You know? But I don't want to bash people who rent, you know, because people in certain situations, maybe they want to move around and they don't want to stay where they at, you know? Yeah. So it's just whatever's for you, I guess.
Yeah, so what was it like for you growing up? Like, explain that.
I was the only girl. So I grew up as a tomboy.
So
I always tried to fight. I got brothers. I got three brothers. I'm the oldest, though.
Okay.
Yeah. So always trying to fight for my place because I got all boy cousins, too. I got girl cousins, but they live, like, out of town. They lived in Alabama and Atlanta, South. So when they came for the summer, I was always happy to have some females around me because I was always around males.
Right. It had to be rough, though.
Yeah, it was. Like, you always fighting for your place, you know? But they thought that I was spoiled because I was the only girl, so my grandma and my mama always took me places with them. Right. But it's just like, I wanna fit in with y'all. I want to do what y'all doing, you know?
So you grew up playing football and all that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Played basketball all the way up until I was high school. I quit in high school because it wasn't fun no more. But, yeah, I played football, all that, basketball, all that.
So you hoop, or you just did it?
I hooped. I don't hoop now, but I did hoop.
Right. So what you're saying is you can hold your own on the court.
Hell yeah, right now too. Yes.
Okay, so you gonna give a nigga 20. You gonna win the 21-32.
Yeah, you feel me? Yes.
Do you feel like being a tomboy gave you a certain advantage as a female? Because you can go kick it with the chicks and you can kick it with the dudes.
Yeah. I think that it made me. It's just liberating to be who you are in a type of way. But also, I don't know, because I feel like I struggled to, like, fit around girls who did, like, the girly stuff. I never knew how to braid. I never knew how to jump double dutch, you know? And so it was, like, kind of awkward when I hung around females because it was just like, dang, like, I'm used to hanging around males all the time. Like, I don't know how to do all this.
Yeah, I know. My oldest is 13. She's a girl, you feel me? And she grew up around me. And growing up around me mean you grew up around all the guys, you feel me? So she had a basketball in her lap, whether she wanted it or not, you feel me? And now it's to the point where that's all she want to do is play video games, do boy stuff.
Right.
I never bought her a baby doll in her life. And I know I had certain women that I've dealt with be like, man, why you don't let her wear two pieces? And I'm like, she don't want to wear two piece. You feel me? She whether wear jogging pants, sweatpants, or basketball shorts.
That was me.
She her daddy daughter. You feel me?
But when she grow up and get into, like, boys and stuff, she gonna do that on her own. So it's not even like you gotta push it, because that's how I was. I hated wearing dresses. I hated when like, my mama put me in skirts, dresses, sandals, and all that. I hated that. I used to be crying. But then, like, when I turned 16, 15, like, I just did that on my own because I just became more girly as I grew up.
Yeah, I definitely can't get her to wear a dress, pink, nothing.
So she got all brothers?
Yeah, she has two brothers and three sisters. You feel me? But she the oldest, so it's whatever she want to do. She rocking how she want to rock, you feel me? But like I say, I've never bought her a baby doll. I've never even tried to, you know what I'm saying? I just let her be her. She play Grand Theft Auto, all that.
Straight up. I used to play with the Hot Wheels cars too, all that.
Now, you say you were a freelance journalist.
Yeah.
Now, at what age did you say you want to be a journalist?
That was, like, recent, if you would call, like, 6-7 years ago recent. Because growing up, I wanted to be a rapper.
Right.
I dedicated my life to rapping and writing raps. I used to go to the studio with my cousin, and that was my life. Like, I knew I was gonna be a rapper. I was like, when I'm 16, I'm gonna be the hottest rapper in the game, man. Like, all that. But, like, my passion, like, it always been writing. But it grew from that as I got older. Right. So I don't know if you ever heard of the the group called the nonprofit organization called Donda's House.
Yeah.
You heard of Donda's House?
Yeah, I heard of Donda's
I used to be a part of that.
That's
When I
dope.
graduated high school, in 2013, and I got accepted into Donda's House in 2014.
Okay.
Right, so I was there, and they try to hone our skills. We work with groups, and just they try to perfect our rapping skills, just artist skills. We had singers in there too, but after that, it's just like I realized that I wasn't really skilled as a rapper as I thought I was.
Right.
And during that journey, I found Free Spirit Media, which does journalism programs for the youth.
Right.
So when I was like, I had to say like 16. No, I wasn't that young. I was like 19. I was like 18, 19. And then I found that, and I was like, this is something that I really enjoy. And it was just like writing in another capacity.
Okay. You know what's weird? Like growing up, like I was in a gang of different like organizations and just things to put my free time into. And nowadays I feel like kids don't have those same outlets or those same opportunities. And if they are, they don't know about them. You know what I'm saying? So how important was finding Donda's House for you? Because I know you're around a group of people that want to be creative and they nurture your creativity.
Yeah, it was really dope to see so many like-minded individuals that were interested in what I was interested in and doing it at that level. Like, you have people like Rhymefest, who grew up with Kanye, and he's investing his time with the youth of Chicago, and it was just like super important. And I couldn't even tell you how I found out about Donda's House, and that's so crazy because I don't even remember how I found out at all. But I remember auditioning, going to St. Sabina, and it was like over 500 kids that auditioned, and out of the 500, I think they picked 50. And I was one of those 50. And it was just like you believed in yourself on a totally different level because these people believed in you, And to have all of these youth just come together and knowing that they can believe in themselves and just like do what they want to do and have somebody believe that you can do it too. That was just like totally different,
Facts. It like you say, it give you that battery that you need to be put in your back, especially when you see somebody older that see something in you that you may not see in yourself, but they know how to bring that out of you. And I feel like, man, like that's the way we create positive and productive citizens, is just by simply not talking down on people, but uplifting them and saying, hey man, you can be whatever you want to be. You want to be this, then let's help you be this. You know what I'm saying?
Super important. And the fact that they brought in different classes, like it was different semesters of Donda's House. But even when you left, you still were part of the community. They still invited you to do things, and it was just like you were always family. Yeah. That's
dope. Now, growing up in Chicago, it's super difficult, you feel me? Now, I've only asked this question to a woman once, you feel me? How difficult was it growing up in Chicago as a black woman?
Well, that's difficult for me to answer, partly because part of my time was spent in Indiana. Like, my mom moved us to Indiana when I was like in 4th grade. So I went to Foster Park Elementary School. Then we moved to Indiana because it was easier for my mom. Right. But I didn't spend much time in Indiana. Like, I didn't go outside. I didn't have friends out there, so I spent a lot of time in Chicago, like going back and forth. Yeah. But I would have to say that it's like it builds you to be a strong person because of the things that you see. And I've seen my brothers be like stopped and frisked by the police a lot of times, and it was just like I felt like powerless. Like I always felt like I wanted to be an older brother for my brothers just so they can have a positive role model to look up to. Yeah. So I want to say for me, and I feel like a lot of other girls and women growing up in Chicago, but for me, I felt powerless because I couldn't be that for my brothers, Yeah,
I feel you.
Yeah.
It's very difficult just being black in Chicago because growing up, I actually never experienced racism until I was an adult. If I did as a kid, I didn't know what I was going through. Yeah. You feel me? But I never forget the time I used to work for Comcast, and I was working by Ford City, and I was in these people's house, and it was a whole family and white people. And the little boy kept coming to play with me while I was doing a cable. Mm-hmm. And the grandfather was like, you better get away from Obama before he take you. And I'm like,
what?
Like, hold on. I ain't know how to take it, you feel me? Because Obama was the president, but I know it wasn't he wasn't speaking up on me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what the fuck?
So wait, you ain't say nothing?
And what happened was the daughter, she said something. She was like, Dad, what are you doing? And I looked at him, I'm like, the fuck? So when they was teaching us, they was like, man, you don't get into it with a customer because the customer is always right. So what I did was I left out of their house and I called my supervisor and I told him, I'm like, bro, I had already told you I don't feel comfortable working in certain areas.
Yeah.
He just said this to me. If I would have reacted to him, I would have been wrong.
Right. Like, you would have been wrong.
So I told him, like, man, y'all have to let me work on the east side. You feel me? Let me work down the street from my crib. And they was like, no. You feel me? So another situation had happened in Oak Lawn. This young white dude, it was literally no cars in this parking lot in this apartment complex. So I parked my truck because I wasn't finna carry this ladder like 100 feet, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, this parking lot is only for residents. I'm like, well, I don't see no residents in this parking lot. You feel me? I'm gonna park here, whatever, dude. So he left and he came back. And when he came back, I was somewhere else working. He left something on my window. It was called the scab. And then
what?
He put it on the window. It was called the scab. So basically calling black people the scabs of the earth. You know what I'm saying? So after that, he had came back again, and he was like, I see why nobody like y'all because y'all lazy. And I'm like, bro, I'm at work, my boy.
What?
I told him this is exactly what I told him. I'm like, fam, I'm at work. And he told me he was driving his girlfriend car at his girlfriend's house. So I'm like, bro, I'm at work. I have my own car in my own house. So who really lazy? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? And then he was like, he had said something else. I'm like, bro, at this point, if you want to fight, like, we could fight. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't, just go on about your business. And at that point, I called my supervisor. I'm like, bro, this is the third, fourth time this has happened. And then eventually they was like, all right, we just going to put you in the hood. With
But that's so messed up that you had to go through those situations for them to see that where you need to be. Like, I'm not making this up. Like, if any, like, because it could have escalated real quick. Like, it could have got physical.
Facts.
You know? And it would have been on them.
I got tools on me, so I wasn't losing. You feel me?
Okay, cool.
I wasn't losing. But it's crazy that once, like you say, we have to go through these things, and people just look at it like, oh, that's just another day.
Right?
Like, the fuck,
nah,
no,
bro. That's not it, bro.
Yeah, this is bothering me mentally. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I asked you, like, is it difficult growing up as a black woman? You feel me?
Yeah.
Because I didn't have any sisters growing up or anything. No.
Nah, yeah. I feel like I said, like I feel powerless and. When me and my husband got together, we got together when we were 16, right?
Right.
And I remember this. We were like probably like a year into our relationship, so we were like 17 at the time, right? And we were walking down the street holding hands. We stopped and we maked out, and the police came skirting up behind us, got out the car, and started just like patting him down, like, "Where's your ID?" Like, you know? Yeah. And it was just like, y'all assume something was what it wasn't.
It's crazy.
And it was just like, just wow that they could do that. There's nothing that we could do. And I'm saying, like, I felt powerless. Like, seeing him go through that, it's like I wanted to cry.
Yeah. Now, I've heard a million times that to be a successful man, you need a strong, powerful woman. How much of that goes to being a woman that you need a positive man to reinforce everything that you're going through?
Yeah, that's super powerful. That's why I actually believe that, like, we should be with each other, like black man, black woman, because we can understand what you're going through and vice versa. Right. You know, like when you have somebody that's going through that and can let you know that you're there, like, that's nothing more powerful. There's nothing more powerful than that. Right. It's so important. Like, I tell him every day. I tell my husband every day, like, I'm so thankful that you are who you are, that you are who you are, because without that, I don't think I could be who I am, for real. Like, he really lifts me up.
Man, it's amazing when two people come together and they form that. And like you say, you tell him, like, bro, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And you, like, a lot of people don't know how far just simply saying something like that goes, you know what I'm saying? And
it's really reassuring.
And I'm pretty sure he enrich you in the same way that you enrich him. So that's just dope. Shout out Black Love.
Yeah, facts. There's nothing like it, man.
Now, you work for a couple different publications, so go through everybody that you work for.
So right now, I'm part-time at Hyde Park Herald, which is, I think it's the oldest neighborhood newspaper in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's true. I worked with City Bureau, and I'm a freelancer. So I also work with What's the Word, and I have works with the Tribe, Southside Weekly, and Chicago Reader.
Yeah. Now let's focus on the High Park Herald and the Tribe Chicago, because I already know those are culturally enriched newspapers. You feel me? So what is it like working for those organizations?
Oh, and it's a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's crazy because like I be wanting some time to rest, but I can't complain because it's the life I wanted, right?
Yeah, you want
but it's
to
like
be a freelancer.
Exactly. Oh, I don't know if I want to be a freelancer now. I don't know, but because like it's always something going on. It's always something going on. Something that somebody you always got to talk to. You want to make sure that you're pushing out this information so the city can receive it, but you don't want to like get it wrong. You don't want to misquote anybody. So you make sure you talk to a lot of people, get facts straight, and that's what editors are so important. They come in and read your work, ask you questions, and make sure that's right. You know.
Yeah.
And with freelancing, it's like you have to be pushing out these stories and asking editors about your ideas, and because you want to get this out. And they pay really well for what you're doing, but it's like you have all these ideas and you want to make sure these publications take them. So I could pitch somebody, but they be like, oh no, I don't like that idea, and you feel shut down. You know. So it's like you go out and seek other stories to publish, and you want to make sure like, oh, when you get that reassurance, like, oh yeah, I like this story. You get that reassurance that I like this story, and you be like, oh man, that feels really good. Or it feels really good.
I know I used to watch this show called The Newsroom. You ever seen it?
I heard of it, but I have not watched it.
All right, now, for the longest, I'm not going to say I didn't respect what journalists and people in the newsroom do, but that show actually showed me, like, the difference between actually reporting news and what goes on today, because a lot of people would jump the gun and they'll report some bad information.
Yeah, you know as we saw with DMX.
Facts. And when you, like, nowadays, you don't see anybody retracting what they put out here. You know what I'm saying? They just put it out here and just it spread positive or negative. And that's something that the newsroom taught me, because they reported on a false story and they literally almost lost their whole publication just off one bad story.
That's tough.
So I would say, man, check out Newsroom. It's on HBO. It don't come on no more, but it's like 4 or 5 seasons.
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, it should be. It should be.
Oh, definitely gonna watch that.
And man, when I tell you, like, people be like, bro, you lame as hell. What you watch? I'm like, bro, this is like the most powerful thing I've seen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love watching things, especially that I can learn from. Yeah. You feel me? So shout out to you as a journalist. And like you say, man, you gotta fact check what you putting out here.
Yeah.
You can't be out here putting misinformation out here. You know what I'm saying?
And it's tough when you're trying to compete with all of these publications. You know, you want to be the first person to put so-and-so out, but that's not what it's about. You know, and that's why I don't even like doing like breaking news stories, to tell you the truth. Like I like to do longer form pieces that take a while. Like the piece I did with the Tribe, I did about sickle cell patients, adults with sickle cell, and how they go through with unemployment. Like they lose their jobs a lot because of their condition. Right. And I interviewed about 3 or 4 people, and I like stories like that like kind of build around like kind of injustice. Yeah, and I think that's better in a way.
Yeah, because it gives you a insight into a world that you're not, you know what I'm saying, privy to. Like, you don't understand what's going on with these people because you don't have to go through what they go through. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I had a friend that died from sickle cell. He was like 13, 14 years old. Yeah, so RIP my boy Chris. And it's tough just dealing with any type of sickness. So for you to shed light on certain things, that's even doper, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people just be out here just doing stuff and they chasing clout and they chasing everything. Yeah. And to put something positive into the world and to inform people, like that's a different type of a GOAT level that you on, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't even care to even give out any type of information.
And that's not what it's about. I feel like life itself is about informing people, you know, just like making humanity better. I think that a lot of times that we think that, oh man, you gotta be selfish in order to get ahead in life, but I don't think that's what it's about, honestly.
Now you said you wasn't sure that you wanted to be a freelancer. What you mean?
Oh, so like I got into this freelance game on accident, okay?
Talk on it.
I was in a fellowship with City Bureau, so I worked with them for a few months as a reporting team about the Chicago budget. And then after the fellowship was over, I just became a freelancer. I still started writing for different publications, and I like it because I'm getting paid by different publications. But I don't like the fact that I don't get taxes taken out of my checks.
Okay.
So, as a person who doesn't have like someone that I'm employed with full time, I'm getting checks by different publications, but they're not taking taxes out. So at the end, at the beginning of the year, I gotta pay all these taxes.
You can't spend all that money.
I'm just like, oh my God, I don't want to deal with this.
I know exactly what you mean. You need like an accountant or somebody.
Yeah. So, and I ain't making no money to have all that. So it's up to me to save and make sure that I can pay the IRS,
Yeah, that's crazy. We shouldn't even have to pay taxes low key.
On me. Speak, bro. Man, speak on that.
We should just have all out. Imagine if we didn't have to pay taxes. I don't feel like half these people be out here robbing, killing, stealing, doing all that. I could just go work for McDonald's, even though they ain't paying that much. I'ma still get some decent bread.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
I can live on my baby.
And then, okay, I'm finna get on some nerd stuff right now. But as poor people or middle class people, you want to define yourself as poor, but we get taxed more than the rich, and that is called a regressive tax.
Which is crazy.
And that is messed up because if you tax the rich, you won't have to tax us as much. Like, and all that go into like parking tickets. You know how the city do us with that, and taxes already out of your check. Like, how is it fair that millionaires are taxed the same as somebody like me?
Facts.
Like, it makes no sense. But
yeah, the world set up super wild. You feel me? But I feel like that's why they say, like, if you can make it out of Chicago, you can make it out of anywhere. Because, man, this is an expensive-ass city to live in.
God,
and like you say, if you ain't got that window sticker and that plate sticker, man, they done took a couple of my cars for that.
Bro, and then you got to pay to get them out. You got to pay for... I don't understand. If I can't pay for a city sticker, a plate sticker, how you think I'm going to pay to get my car out of there?
Facts. And then they crippling how you make bread.
Bro, how I'm supposed to get to work? That's what I'm talking about. That's the regressive shit. Like, it always attack the poor, middle class, black people, just marginalized communities, period. We always get it the worst. Facts. And it's like you make it worse when we're trying to make it better. It's like it's a continuous cycle.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Now, how did COVID either slow you down or help you as a journalist?
COVID helped me tremendously, bro. Okay, in 2019, I was working full-time at Uber Technologies. Okay. I was working at Uber freight offices downtown. I hated it. In my first and only corporate job, I should say. I hated it. I just had graduated graduated college, Chicago State. Shout out to Chicago State. You feel me?
Big facts.
I graduated Chicago State in 2018, and I didn't know what I was going to do. Like, I studied journalism, and I wanted to get in this. But then this job fell into my lap. It was good pay, and I was happy for the most part because I wanted to pay for my wedding and I was getting good money. But then I felt trapped. I wasn't happy. Like, I was doing something that I did not like. Right. Getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning and being at this job, and it's just like, this is my life, And so when COVID happened, I got laid off. I got a big payout, which was a blessing. And then I got into that City Bureau fellowship, and then I began my freelancing career. Okay. So it really helped me out.
Shout out COVID. A lot of people was like, man, the pandemic is fucked up. It was.
It was.
Up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That people died from it. But at the same time, if you didn't see this as an opportunity to better yourself, Bro. You know what I'm saying? Whether that was financially, emotionally, or spiritually, you know what I'm saying? Then that's strictly on you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I took the pandemic. I was like, literally before the pandemic happened, Comcast had fired me. You feel me? So I was in a position. Did you get a
payout too?
Nah, I ain't getting no payout. Nah, they was like, nah, bro, that shit dead. You feel me? But what I can say about Comcast, they literally taught me financial literacy without me knowing at first. Because once I got that job, they enrolled me in a 401k automatically. You know what I'm saying? So I worked there for 10 years. 4 or 5 years in, I had never even seen my 401k. I had a meeting with my supervisor, and he was like, man, check your 401k. I went in there, I had around like $4,000 or $5,000.
Nice.
And I'm like, damn, that's for real? So what I did was I turned up my investments. I took 10% of each check and put it into my 401k. And then I later learned that Comcast offered like a discount stock plan, where I could buy a Comcast stock at a 30% discount.
Nice.
So either way, it's a win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I took another 10% out of my check, and that went to buying the stock. So once I did get fired, my 401k was already busting. You know what I'm saying? And my stock portfolio just off Comcast was busting too.
Hey.
So I was in a position where I was like, okay, I know I don't got no job now. I got some bread, but I got to think wisely about this money. So I paid off my car, completely paid off my car. And then I was like, man, Jay, what do you love to do? And I had been a part of the Chicago music scene for like 7 or 8 years at that point. You feel me? And my mans, we started something called onlyforthereal.com. And this was a minute ago. So I had already had my foot in and out. I'm like, man, you need to motherfucking start shooting interviews. I got the radio show with Illinois.
Yep.
We started Illinois radio, you know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of things that went into it. And like I say, I bought my investment property. And all that was from Comcast money. You know what I'm saying? So
wow.
Shout out to Comcast, even though, like I say, I hated that job. They
Facts.
actually put me in a position that I wasn't aware of, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to them.
Right.
They could have gave me a payout too. I would have been happy with that, but they didn't.
I feel like COVID really helped like black people. Honestly, like you see these people in positions that they could have been in. You feel me? But because of the help that we shouldn't even have to ask for, which is owed to us.
Facts.
You know, you in positions that you should already be in. You feel me? So
them little stimulus, like I appreciate the little stimulus checks, you know what I'm saying? But for them to be able to get them to us, like you say, they should be able to give us that at least once a month. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Nobody. Like black people, this is what's deserved to us. Like how many years do we work for free?
Facts.
You feel me? And it's like I be getting into arguments with my grandma about like Link and Medicaid and stuff like that because like she feel like she like the old way of thinking, like, you know, you supposed to work for all this, but I'm like, grandma, they owe us this. Like to me, like black people should get Link for free. We should get groceries for free. Healthcare should be free. All of that should be free to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And all I gotta worry about is what I want to do with my life, raising my family and my career and just enjoying life. Like I shouldn't be struggling for this shit.
Have you heard about Evanston giving reparations?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Like I never read into it or nothing, but I would love to understand how they paying people.
It's off the weed money, off the cannabis businesses in Evanston. So they took like I think $100K of that and gave it to black communities. That's so dope. It was like that. So it's gonna like eventually run out because it's on $100K of the cannabis money. Yeah. But it's just like they were trying to make things right. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, shit, we make a lot of money.
Man, you know, it make a lot of money, and there ain't no black-owned dispensaries in Chicago.
And that's crazy.
Locking us up because but y'all selling it now.
Right.
You know?
And making huge profits off of it.
That's what I'm saying. And I feel like Chicago can do something like that too. Like a percentage of the cannabis money, shit, if not all of it, can go to black people. Shit, like.
What would you say has been your most important story to write?
My most important story. That is a great question because I never thought about that. I never thought about this. I did a story. I kind of want to say my tribe story about sickle cell because my cousin has sickle cell and she goes through a lot with the government and Social Security and they trying to take money from her because they're trying to say that she made too much. She's working. It's like they don't want her to work because she's getting disability. Right. But they don't understand that she has 3 kids, that the disability that you're giving her isn't enough for her to live off of. Right. So, and when she has crisis, she can't work. So you try to take away her disability and at any point she can lose her job. And it's like, what do you want her to do?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like you want to continue cycles. But it's like when people try to break them and they try to get it out the mud and do it themselves, it's like you want to take something from them that they need. You feel me? So I say my sickle cell story is definitely the most important because I feel like people's lives can be changed, especially if like somebody in the system was to read that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can change how people live. You know? Facts.
Yeah. Damn, I had a great question. That motherfucker just slipped my mind. Damn. So fuck it, I'm gonna just pivot. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Now, growing up where we grow up, and having all these stories that impact people. You feel me? What would be one thing that me as a consumer can help you as far as getting the message out about everything that you're writing about?
Share the stories. Like, it's so many movements going on in Chicago, like Defund CPD, Good Kids Mad City, Asada's Daughters, and BYP 100, and just like a whole bunch of people that's like abolitionists. You know, like, I don't know if you believe in like abolishing the police, but it's like work like that that's like revolutionary, and we looking toward the future. I feel like everybody should be a voice. Everybody should be looking towards something that can, like, nobody should be complacent. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you share these works, you go out and you for something, you standing for something that can change the course of history. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, just like sharing the works for real though. Like reading these articles and realizing what people are doing in your city can change. Because I feel like so many people, like you said earlier, so many people are unaware, especially youth. They don't know what's going on because like the news is boring. You feel me? You got these youth protesters, these youth organizers out here that's doing so much work, and I feel like when you see that, it makes a difference.
Now, we currently in a wave of entrepreneurship, you know what I'm saying? And people on the outside looking in be like, man, that's fun. It looks easy, you know what I'm saying? But it's far from easy, especially when you 100% funded by yourself and the work you do. And you don't necessarily have to go punch a clock, but on Wednesday, if you don't do Wednesday's work, then that makes Thursday and Friday work a little bit harder. Yeah. So explain how hard, the difficulties of being an entrepreneur.
It's hard because my biggest battle is procrastination. Like you said, like I would think of something that I got to do on Wednesday, bro. And then if I don't do that, I'm like, oh man, okay, I could do it Thursday. I could do this Thursday. Oh no, okay, I can do it Friday. But no, you can't do that. You can't keep pushing it out because it's just like piling work on top of work. And that's how, like, I have to be kind of organized with the stories that I'm doing. Like I try to push out my interviews. So I got to talk to this person on Monday to get this article out on Tuesday and just keep on going that way. Like, it's just like, I would rather do this for myself because I know in the future it's going to be better for me. So that's what kind of gets me going. Like, I'd rather be doing this for myself than somebody else. Like, I would not want to get this time to Uber because I'm losing that time for me. So I feel like when a lot of people think of it that way, like, think of it like as you are your own business, because if you're giving that time to another business, it's like they making more money off you, bro. Yeah. That's what I learned.
Now, you recently did media for the Chance the Rapper movie.
Yeah, shout out to Chance.
What was Chance movie about? Because I literally wanted to go see the movie, but I couldn't.
It's not out yet.
But was it a screening for it?
Yeah, that was a screening for it, the red carpet.
Okay, so it's actually going to be released in theaters.
On all AMCs I'm going to say this summer. Yeah, next month, July, I believe.
Okay, so what was that experience like?
That was a crazy experience. I feel like, yes, that was my first red carpet event like that. Like, Chance brought Hollywood to Chicago, and I asked him how it felt to do that. He said that it was really special because we don't get events like that.
Facts.
You know? And the fact that he had to, like, some people were the public were able, like, it was like a lot of kids and youth up in there. Like, of course, it was Chicago media, but it was a lot of public, you know, it was like open to the people. Mm-hmm. And it was really important for Chicago because you got to see this. Like, he brought Justin Bieber out, you know, feel me? Like, King Louis was there, Vic Mensa. Happy birthday, Vic Mensa. And it was just like totally cool because this is happening in Chicago. And I worked at that AMC like 6 years ago. Crazy. Right, I worked at that AMC, like, and to see Chance bring this big ass event to Chicago, like, this never happens. That was special.
So, man, because, like, at that moment, was that one of those moments where you was like, man, this is why I hated my other job?
Yes, bro, yes. I was definitely like that. But I was like, the journey is real. Like, I really appreciate my journey, like, working at the AMC. And I sold Chance a ticket at the AMC. I told him about it. Like, I was working at the AMC and I sold you a ticket. He was like, whoa. And he was talking about growing up and going to the AMC as a kid, you know? Yeah. It was just like, it made me appreciate my journey from working at AMC to working at Uber and then this full circle being back at the AMC. But I'm interviewing Chance now.
Yeah, in a different capacity. Yeah. That's crazy. Do you feel like everything that you put into this world came back around in that moment?
Yep. I really do.
Cause that's crazy for you, like you say, to work there and now performing media at an event here. You feel me?
It was crazy. Like, cause I can't even lie to you. Like 6 years ago, I wouldn't even think that I would be in that position. You know, like, you know, like a lot of people, I knew I was gonna do this. I can't lie to you. I didn't know I was gonna be doing that, but I was planting the seeds, you know, for what I want to do in life. So It was great.
And when you do good and positive work out here, bro, I promise you, you don't have to go looking for the opportunities.
Bro,
they come to you.
They really
that's
do.
A fact.
It made me think about Inglewood Barbie, about how much greatness she does for the city of Chicago.
Man.
And that's just coming back to her.
Facts.
I love that.
It's crazy how, and that go back to like when you say about procrastinating. Like, we'll say how hard it is to do something until we actually doing it.
Bro, it'd be the easiest thing in the world. Like, why didn't I do this 2 days ago? It took me 5 minutes to do this.
Facts. Because I'm the same way, man. I got, like I say, I did interviews early. I had 2 interviews, your interview. I have my own little YouTube content. Then I gotta cut these joints down to make them into Instagram and Twitter and Facebook clips. And I'm like, you know what? It's Monday, man. Fuck this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, no, it's Monday. I definitely got to put out at least 2 of these joints. And it get to the point where you be like, man, why am I doing this? And then those moments like you had come, you like, okay.
That's why I do it.
This
and then like when you be in the middle of working, like, do you just find yourself be like, I'm having fun?
Facts.
Like, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Why am I not doing this?
Me and my homie, we shooting like a little web series called No Time to Play Fair. And
Stay working.
And bro be excited. He be every day. He done hit me every day since we finished filming episode 4. He like, man, where it's at? I'm like, bro, when it's ready, I'ma send it to you. So last night I go to put the finishing touches on it. And my girl like, man, why are you always working? I'm like, bro, I ain't work Friday, I ain't work Thursday. You feel me? So I'm not always working, but I definitely need to do this. And I did it until my computer died. And it be getting to the point sometime where people don't understand the vision, you know what I'm saying, because they can't see it. And I'm like, bro, I can't put off what I'm doing for nobody else no more. You know what I'm saying? I got to chase what I want. If you won't see it how I see it, then that ain't my problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I completely get what you're saying. It could feel like you working forever, but real life, we doing nothing.
Yeah. Like you say, you having fun because you get to look back at people's reactions, read comments. Like like I say, this episode 4, episode 1 had like 600 views before episode 2. Episode 2 had like 1.2K views before we dropped 3, and 3 is reaching almost 2,000 views.
Nice.
And just to be knowing like, it ain't a lot of views, but it's a lot of views to me just because people tapping in with something that I had a hand in creating. You know what I'm saying? That be the little gratification for me. Or when I'm on the radio and somebody say, man, like I had one dude, he was like, man, I didn't see you read no questions to me. I'm like, bro, just because we had a natural conversation and everything just flowed. Like, shout out to you for being open and honest, and that make my job easier where I could just have these conversations with people. And it be moments like that where I be like, man, yeah, because Tuesday I was tired of this shit. You feel me? But
I feel you.
Yeah, those moments be everything. Now, I always ask people this. If you can ask your younger you, if you could give your younger self any advice, what would it be?
Oh, my God. Why you got to hit me with these questions, man? My younger self, oh, my God. She, like, so naive, you know? So young. I honestly probably would just tell her to keep going. There's so many times in my life where I just felt like nothing, you know? Like, why even bother? Like, nobody cares. Yeah. But I would just tell her to keep going because it's worth it.
Now, you also have a show on YouTube, Corli's Critiques. Let's speak about that before we get up out of here.
Bro, I don't even want to speak on Corli's Critiques because it's my procrastination again. But I like to look at local music videos and critique them because I like local music. Right. You know, like, there's so many good rappers and artists out here in Chicago, you know, and I just like to give my 2 cents on what I think about your music and your music videos, and I think there's just like cool content to come out of Chicago. Yeah. Keep
doing it, no matter how much you procrastinate on it. Just keep putting it out. You know what I'm saying? Even if it take you longer to put out this episode than that episode, because like you say, Chicago artists need this shine because we get a lot of negative light on the music that come out of our city when it's a lot of dope artists out here. You feel me? So if you can create a platform that highlights those artists, once again, that's gonna come back to you tenfold because some people may not appreciate it, but those ones that do gonna help you grow. You
Definitely.
know what I'm saying? So definitely keep that up.
Thank
and then
you.
YouTube gonna also start paying you checks too.
Facts.
So shout out to YouTube. You feel
Facts.
me? And just keep chasing it. That's all you can do out here. Just stay positive, keep chasing it. You never know when your moment gonna come, because you done had certain moments that you never expected to come, and it was like, man, damn, that's Justin Bieber. You feel me? That's crazy. Now, before we get out of here, tell the people how they can stay in tune with you, get in tune with you, and just say what's up to anybody you want to say what's up to.
For sure. So you can get in touch with me, basically anything, at Corli _JAY. So that's at CORLI _JAY, Instagram, Twitter. And I want to shout out to What's the Word, everybody at What's the Word, Cody, Chelsea, Ari, Cindy, Nav, Dwayne, all y'all at What's the Word. Thank y'all so much for believing in me, and definitely big shout out to my husband, of course.
Man, shout out to your husband. Shout out to everybody you just named. I want to say I appreciate you for coming through. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for having me.
I don't know if you feel it, but you just had like a special type of energy as soon as we started talking. So shout out to you, because I'm a shy person.
Really?
Like people think I just can just have all these conversations, which I can. You know what I'm saying? I don't like forced conversations, and this conversation was dope. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I like to highlight people in my city that's doing something positive. That's why I reached out to you. So shout out to you and everything that you're doing. Hopefully everything that you're working for comes to you faster than you expected. You know what I'm saying?
Same to you, bro.
Appreciate it. But I once again, I thank you for coming through and chopping it up with me.
Thank you, bro.
All right, no problem. This has been another episode of Conversations with Jay.